Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like the channel and become part of this journey with us. One big happy family. Thank you so much to every single one of you that have been supporting the channel from the start until now. And of course, very appreciated the newcomers that will be part of it also. I'd like to mention that my threads are 100% cotton thread. They are from Portugal. I am in Europe. And there are 4 plies, similar thickness to Aunt Lydia number 3. My colors go by number and not by name. Okay. And for the most part, I use 2.75 hook, a small one, millimeter. Small one to tuck in loose ends, of course, and a pair of scissors. I also like to mention I do have a crochet private group. If you're interested to join the beautiful queens there, you're more than welcome as long as you have a profile pic. And I have a crochet page on Facebook and also Instagram and TikTok. All of these links will be below in the description box. All you have to do is click on them. Of course, if you have not subscribed, click on that subscription. It's free, you know that, and hit the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's the only way we can continue to create these beautiful pieces for you guys. By keep growing the channel, of course, by YouTube recognizing the channel and circulating it. And I am so grateful and appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody. For a lot of yous that question on my threads, I do ship them out. They're $12 a ball. They're 100 grams equivalent. 300 to 325 yards, okay? And minimum order by 6. It's the only way I can cover the shipping. I make nothing out of it, so I know you will be asking because I get a lot of questions on them. So here you go. Okay, so let's get started. Please don't forget to share the video or the channel in your Facebook public or your groups, your Facebook crochet groups, through your WhatsApp, your Instagram. It's the only way to keep going and circulating it. Okay, thank you. I send you much blessings. Okay, everyone. So I'll be using also, of course, the white and the gray for this runner. Okay, besides the beads, of course. My gray color is number 12. We go by number of color and not name of color. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have a hook size bigger than your normal to start that first chain stitch, or it's going to pull too much on the pattern. And make it loose, don't tighten it. If you need to go 2 sizes bigger, then go ahead. Okay, so the slip stitch never counts for nothing. And now I'm going to do 167 chain stitch. And I'm loosening up as I'm going, even though I have a hook. This is 3. Normally I use a 2.7. Okay, so if you have to go a little bit bigger, go ahead, because as soon as you start stitching in here, and as we go, it's going to pull that centerpiece too much that it's going to start curving. Not pretty at all. And a lot of times I keep forgetting to mention, because I'm so used to I can do it loosage with my normal hook, but a lot of people need to know that if they can use a size or 2 bigger to make sure that you're not pulling on that pattern. Okay, so 167 chain stitch. Okay, everyone, so I've done 167 chain stitch. I'm going to come back in. Actually, I'm going to use my 2.7, this one. I'm going to come in my 5th chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to grab both loops right in the center and leave that bottom loop behind. We don't want our pattern to curve, so you always have to go right in the middle. And you see you have those 2 loops there. Okay, and one at the bottom. So you got to go right in the center. You'll have issues. It will curve like a U shape, not pretty. Okay, so now we're going to do 1 double crochet per stitch all the way almost at the end. We're going to leave 1 chain behind at the end, the very first one we did. I'll meet you there before we work on it. Okay, everyone, so I've done all my double crochets. I have 162 double crochets. I'm going to come into that last chain and I'm going to do 7 double crochets for the curve. Now if you want to put a marker, you can put a marker on that before the 7 double crochets at the curve. Okay, so that 162 is not counting those 3 chains or 4 chains we've done here on that very first one. I'm counting from the next one to the very last one I did here, not counting the 7. Okay, so I have 2, 4, and I'll hide this little thread as I go, 5, 6, and 7 double crochets. And then I'm going to come into that first double crochet, but I'm grabbing that back loop. Remember that back loop I told you we had a loop left at the bottom? That's where I'm working on, so we can have a nice straight foundation. And hiding my thread as I go. So we're going to do 1 double crochet per stitch, and obviously whatever we do in one end we must do at the other end. That means when we get to that last double crochet, we got to do 7 double crochets inside of the last double crochet. That means when we get here, we're going to be doing 7 double crochets inside of this last one. Okay, but I'll meet you there anyway, just to make sure that you guys are on the right track. Okay, now pull that thread here a bit and cut the excess off. Okay, everyone, so I'm down to my very last one. On this same stitch, I'm going to do, actually not the same stitch, right on that first chain here of the last one, I'm going to do 6 more double crochet. With the one we have here will be 7. So again, you can put your marker on the one before. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, and on my third chain, this is my 7th. Now, of course, it stays a little bit hidden behind, so you have to be careful not to skip that when you're working it. So, going into the next one, I'm going to do a single 2 chain into the next one. So now I'm going to do 1 per stitch until the corner, and then I'll meet you at the corner once I've completed my 162 double crochets. Because remember at the beginning I said we're not counting that 4 chain that we started off. Actually, sorry, we're going to use back loops. I don't know what I was thinking. We're going to use back loops only. So coming into that back loop, single 2 chain, and then again just back loops. If you want to use the full thing, then go ahead, but I think it makes a difference on the pattern. So one per stitch all the way until the other edge, the other corner. So basically this would be row 2 because row 1 is the first one that goes around. Okay everyone, so I've done my last one and now I'm just hitting that first of the 7. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get that last double crochet, put a marker on or a piece of thread if you don't have markers. And we're going to do 2 double crochet on each one. Okay, so 2 per stitch on that curve. So we should have a total now of 14 double crochet in the curve. I'm using back loops. 1 and 2. And then continue to do these 7 of them. And of course on the other side the same thing. One, 2. And my very last one here. So I should have 14 double crochets. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Let me just check something here. I hope I didn't miscount. I did miscount, did I? No. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So where did I go wrong? Did I do an extra one in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my goodness, I think I did too much in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 8 in there. Why do I have 8 in there? Okay, everyone, so I did have an extra one here, and what I did, I skipped 1, so I can have my 14, and it's not really noticeable once we keep going, so instead of taking it down, forget about it. Just skipped 1, and I have my 14 in place now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. These things are so common to happen, right? There's no need to take it down when you can just skip it. It's unnoticeable anyway. And then now we're doing the side 1 per stitch again. So you want to make sure that you put that marker on that very first one from the side. So this would be the corner one. Okay. So I'll do the same thing to the other side. Hopefully I should not have 7. I should not have 8. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I do have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I have 7. Okay, so the mistake was only here, which is common. Okay, so repeat your 14 on this corner too, and then we're going to close it in. Don't forget that one is behind. It's really like hidden, so you have to make sure you grab it. You have to have the 14 and slip stitch. Okay everyone, so I've arrived at the end. Again, I'm going to come in that same stitch. I'm going to stretch my thread a bit, and do one chain. So I have my first double crochet, and again we're going to do double crochet per double crochet, one per stitch. So I'll meet you at the marker. This is always a repeat here on the sides, just double crochet over double crochet, and using that back loop in the back. Okay everyone, so I've done my 162. I took off my marker. I'm going to put my marker back in, just so you guys don't get confused. Now we're heading in the round. So I'm going to do one more double crochet on that first double crochet. On my second one, I'm doing the increase 2 together on the same stitch, and then 1 double crochet on that first double crochet, 2 together, on that second double crochet, and then 1 double crochet, 2 together on the same stitch. This is what we're doing on the both corners the same way. Boy, it feels so peaceful considering all of the noise, dogs, construction around. Get to work a little bit more in peace just before bedtime, which is not that much time, so really advance the pattern during the day, which is a lot going on during the day. Gotta make sure I look at it, because when I'm yapping away, I lose myself on the counts. Okay, so the last one here, 2 on the same stitch, and then of course 1 per stitch on the side. Going into that very first double crochet for the side, and then continue 1 per stitch. So obviously you're going to repeat what we've done here on the other corner. So as I'm going to continue on and do the other corner also, I'm also going to do these sides because it's just a repeat all the way. Once we get here, we close with slip stitch, and again doing all the double crochets until we get to the marker. So I'm going to continue mine into the next row also. So we are 1, 2, 3. So at row 4 at the marker, I'll come back to you because it's just a repeat double crochet into row 4. Once we go up again, the 3 chain, however you go up on your double crochet, and then 1 per stitch back loops. Okay everyone, so I'm on row 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I said, I'd meet you at the marker. Everything else stays the same. So I've done my markers here, come straight from that line there. 1 double crochet. I'm heading into where the 2 double crochets together are. So I'm doing 1 double crochet on there also. And on the next one, I'm doing 2 together. So this time we'll have the 2 double crochet, 1 per stitch alone. And on that second increase, we're doing the increase, 2 together. 1 double crochet per stitch, and I'm running out of thread here. Okay, now that I've added more thread, so 1 double crochet alone, and another one alone. Try to hide that knot there. And on the second double crochet, the increase. And then one per stitch, again, 2 double crochet alone. And increase on that second double crochet. So you'll do exactly the same thing on the other side. One and one. 2 double crochet on the same stitch. 1 and 1. 2 double crochet in the same stitch. So that's our increase. 1 and 1. 2 double crochet in the same stitch, and then 1 per stitch as we've been doing. So you're going to continue to do all double crochets. You're going to do exactly what we did with this round, and then into the next row, row 5, back loops, double crochet until we meet at the marker point, and I'll see you on the 5th row at the marker. Okay, everyone, so row 5, I'm at the marker. I'm going to do my double crochet, and my increase is going to be only where I have the increase there on the second double crochet. So double crochet on that first double crochet, and then my increase on the second. This time we're going to do 3 double crochet, 1 per stitch by itself, 1, 2, and my third one. And we fall into that second double crochet again, where we have the increase, and we do an increase again. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and 1 double crochet, 1 per stitch, 2 on the same stitch on that increase, 2 together, and we'll repeat the same thing on the other side. So complete your row, and I'll be back with you at the end of my row. Okay, everyone, going into row 6, I'm going to do my 3 chain for my double crochet and 1 chain for space. I'm going to skip 1 double crochet, and I'm coming in the second. 1 chain, skip 1 double crochet into the next one. 1 chain, skip a double crochet into the next one. So we're going to do that until the marker. Okay, so I'll meet you there at the marker. Okay, everyone, So I finished doing all my little squares, and I have 83 little squares, okay? Starting from that very first one here, jumping always one. Now when I pass my marker, like I said, 83 little squares. And here we have the first group. So I didn't jump any. I've landed, did my 83rd square on that first double crochet without jumping any. One chain. I'm not going to jump again. And I'm coming into that second double crochet from the group. One chain. This time I'm jumping. So we're going to alternate now. I've jumped one. I'm not jumping. I'm jumping one. I'm not jumping. Jump one. Not jumping. So we're alternating this way until the marker. So I'll meet you at the marker and let you know how many little squares I have from this point on. Okay, from that actually from this point on. So what are we going to do? Since this is our 83rd, I'm going to put my marker there, okay? Because we need to make sure that we have the right count. So I'm going to put it right on that space of my 83rd square. Then I went right after, didn't jump any. I should have two here, I didn't jump. Okay, so once I've completed my 82, I went and created my 83 not jumping, and then my 84 not jumping. Then I jumped once and didn't jump. Jumped once, didn't jump. Jumped once, didn't jump. Okay, so I'll meet you at the marker and let you know from the marker to the other side how many squares I have. Okay, you guys, so pretty much finished. So the marker is for that straight line. I'm at the end of the group. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we're supposed to have 21 groups. I'm just going to recount because I could be counting wrong from this one, should be counting from this one, but hold on. So my mark point has to be in between those two. Remember I told you we didn't had to make a little adjustment here. So we did 3, then we didn't jump. So we must come into that the last one here. Anyway, not hard to figure out. We're at the last group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So put your marker on the 21st. Okay? And we have to do exactly the same thing to the other side. So now we're on the sides, and the side is jumping. We start to jump. So skip one into the next one. That means I'm going to move my marker right up to this one we just created. Okay, one chain, skip a stitch into the next one. Okay, you guys, so ran out of thread, so I'm going to come here and we're going to do exactly what we've done. I'm coming inside of that chain with single and 2 chain. That would be my first double crochet in 1 chain for space. Coming again, you can go right over the loop if you like. 1 chain, I'm going in. Now if your tension is tight, you can do a 2 chain or use a bigger hook to do that 1 chain if you don't want to do the 2 chain. Okay, so this is what we're going to do all the way around. The same way. So in between, and then 1 more row in between again. Okay. Okay, everyone, so finish this row going into that 3rd row. So I'm going to come into the center of that chain. Of course, the first one is always the hardest, so I'm going to do a little bit of a walk here. And sometimes the best is to use a smaller hook to get through. One, 2, 3 for my double crochet, 1 chain coming in the center of the next one. I'm going through the chain, but you can go over if you want, if it's easier for you. So that's all you have to do. Let's create those little squares again, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I finished all my little squares. You have to have a total of 208 squares. It has to be multiples of 4. So if you don't have 208 and you have 206 or 205, then go into 204, make your way to it. 208. If you have to skip 1 or 2, then go ahead, or cheat 1 or 2 here. Remember where we did skipping 1 and not skipping? Well, you can work on that and make sure that you have 208 little squares. Okay, everybody, so I closed in with slip stitch. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 chain. I'm coming in. You can go over the thread if you'd like. I'm going inside of that chain stitch. We're doing this row double crochets. Okay, now when I get to the curve, I will see if I need to make an adjustment, or if it's okay, if it's not going to pull together. So 1 double crochet per stitch coming inside of that chain. Like I said, you can go over if you want to. Okay, so if there's any change at the edge, at the corner, I'll come back and let you know. If it's not pulling, I'm going to go right through it until the end. Okay, everyone, so I don't want the pattern to be pulling. So in order to make sure that it doesn't pull, I did try to do the double crochets and it worked for me, but some of you have more of extreme tight stitch, so I don't want you to run into obstacles. Now, as I can see here is my line for doing those double crochets, right, when we go up from row to row. So on the one right here, I'm not going to do on this one where we did the 3 chains, but the one right after, I'm going to count 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. And that falls more or less. So basically on that first increase. Okay, if that helps you, the first increase. So I'm going to do 2 double crochets where I'm doing the double crochet. So I'm going to increase here, 2 double crochets. On the next one, I'm not doing the increase. Okay, so I'm going right through. And then the one after that, I'm doing an increase, 2 together on the same stitch, and then no increase. I think this is going to help the oval, especially for a lot of use. And then the next one, increase. Okay, oops, on the double crochet, like that, all the way until, if you want to put a marker on, then go ahead. Okay, you guys, so from the beginning again of that first increase right up, I've done my first increase. On the next one I didn't do, the next one I did, the next one I didn't do, the next one I did. So I have 11 increases. Okay, and this was my 11th increase here just before we start that line. And now 1 per stitch as we've been doing. And you have to do the same thing on the other curve. So 1 per stitch now. At least you won't run into obstacles of having your pattern stretched or curving in. It stays nice and flat. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of my row. Okay, everyone, so I've done my 11 creases on this side also. Now this row is just going to be double crochet over double crochet. So 1, 2, 3 chain, using those back loops. If you want to use front loops, I mean all the way through, that's fine, it's up to you. So 1 per stitch. There is no increase because we already done the increase on the previous row, so just 1 per stitch, and then I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so pretty much finished my row. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain for double crochet and 1 for space in between. So I'm going to skip 1 and I'm coming into the next one. So we're building all little squares all the way around, and then I'm cutting my thread after this, and I'm going to come in with the gray. Skip a stitch into the next one, skip a stitch into the next one, skip a stitch into the next one, 1 chain in between, now we have to make sure that we have even numbers by 4s. So meaning, let's say 204, 208, and so on. Okay, but I'll let you know how many I have at the end. We have to have pair for sure. Okay, so I'm going to continue mine. There is no difference on the oval either. Okay, you guys, so I'm at the oval, and I've tried doing it without fixing anything, but it seems to be pulling quite a bit, and I don't want that to happen. So remember we started doing the increase over here, so I'm just going to go straight up on that one. I'm going to do 1 chain, and I'm not skipping any here, and then 1 chain, then I'm skipping 1, I'm going into the next one. So just making a little arrangement, 1 chain, and I'm not skipping any of them here either. So we're alternating. Okay, so we're not skipping, we skip. We're not skipping, we're going to skip. Let me just fix this one a little bit better here. So we're not skipping this one. 1 chain, we're skipping that one. So it does not pull on the pattern. Coming directly again into the next one. 1 chain, skip 1. We're not skipping. Skip 1. One chain, we're not skipping. So I'm going to do this exactly until the other side where we did the 11th increase. Remember, we did 11 increases. So until this last one, we'll be doing this. Skip 1, not skip. Skip 1, not skip. So 1 chain, skip 1. 1 chain, and we don't skip. Okay, because we got to make sure that it does not pull on that oval. So I'm going to do until I have my last increase on this side, and then continue skipping 1 as we've been doing on here. Okay, so I'll let you know at the end how many I have. Okay, you guys, so if I count them, let's say as groups, bring that a little bit more down. If I count them as groups, so we started here, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I've done 16 times, not skipping any chain. So 16 times, let's say those groups at the oval. And now I start skipping. And we must do the same thing to the other side of the oval. 16 times also. So basically you're going to start where we started the 2 together here. So we'd start on that second one. Okay, and then double crochet, 1 chain, double crochet, and then 1 chain, skip 1, and then 1 chain, double crochet, 1 chain, double crochet. So 16 times, exactly how we did there. Okay, and then I'll let you know at the end how many squares I have altogether. Okay, everyone, so I have 236 little squares. Now on this side here, I had to add an extra one without skipping, so that means the other side I have 16, this side I have 17 groups, which is okay. I needed to make sure that I do have the right amount in it. And as you can see here, when I skip this one and I skip, I didn't have any more to skip, but I needed those 236 because it goes by even numbers. Okay, so I'm going to cut my thread, and it doesn't matter if it's got an extra one on the other side. It doesn't change anything absolutely on the pattern. So I'm going to come in with my gray now. It's coming out pretty good so far. I am creating this as I'm recording. I have no plan. I mean, I had an idea in mind, but I've been back and forth in my head with ideas, and so I decided to go ahead with this. Okay. Anyway, so coming back in now with the group. So we can pretty much start anywhere. I'm just going to start on this last one that is just together, basically. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do 2 double crochets. So I'm building shells of 2 double crochets. Then I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 chain. I'm coming back in where I've closed those 2 double crochets, whoops, and I'm going to do another double crochet. So 2 double crochet sideways. I need this because we'll be working inside of this loop. So then again, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to create 2 more double crochet. So that's my shell. Two double crochet and 2 sideways double crochet. I'm skipping a block and I'm coming in to the next block with a V. Give me a second here. I'm trying to see the best way for this. Okay, with a V. And then I'm skipping a block again and coming into the next one, creating that shell again of 2 double crochets. So it's always alternating. Be careful not to do 2 V's and then you get at the end and you have to take everything down because it has to be alternated. 1 V, 1 shell, 1 V, 1 shell. Okay, let's try that again. Skip a square and create a V. Double crochet, 2 chain, double crochet. Skip a block into the next one, 2 double crochet, 1, 2, 3 chain. Come in where we've closed that double crochet and double crochet sideways. So they're both sideways, right? Come back in and 2 double crochet. Always skipping a block, create your V. 2 chain, double crochet again. So shell V, shell V, shell V, and this is how we're going to alternate all the way around the same way. That's why we needed to have enough here so we can also alternate and jump, right? So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so finished my row, coming back in with the white. Now I've counted, I have 60 shells, 59 shells, sorry. So that means I should have 59 V's. My mind's not working. It's getting late and it's been all day I've been working at this. Okay, so I'm going to come in. Now you can start however you start your first single. We're working on that back loop, okay? The back loop that we have done the sideways double crochet. So I'm going to do a single and 1 chain. So I'm going to start building my petals for my flowers. And now I'm going to do a triple, but I'm not doing it twice on my hook. So I'm taking it out this way. Okay, so I'm not rolling it. You can if you want to. So doing a triple, taking out 1 at a time. So I've done 2 triples. I'm going to do 1 chain, whoops, 1 chain, and then coming back down with a single. And we're going to do 3 petals on this side and then the other sideways double crochet. We're going to work on that too. So single, 1 chain, that's the single we've closed in again. Taking out once, taking out twice, and now taking out 3 times. We're going to do the same thing again. taking out once, taking out twice, taking out 3 times. 1 chain. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to do a single. So now I have 2 petals. I need to do 1 more. 1 chain, again coming in, taking out once, taking out twice, taking out 3 times, and again taking out once, taking out twice, taking out 3 times. 1 chain. I'm going to come back in and do my single. So now I got 3 petals. I'm going to turn my pattern, make things easier. Excuse me. And I'm going to work on that bottom sideways double crochet. So single, repeating the same thing, 1 chain, coming in, take out once, 2 and 3 times, coming back in, take out once, 2 and 3 times. If you find it easier to do your triple your normal way, then go ahead. And chain and 1 single. So I have my first petal on here, 1 chain, and again take out once, twice, 3 times. Now some of you might ask me, why am I doing it this way and not the normal triple? I find doing this way in certain projects, especially that I don't want it to be a huge flower, I want it to be a smaller flower. If I do the normal way, wrapping twice around the hook, it becomes too thick, and I don't want that. It's a delicate pattern, so we're going to keep it delicate. 1 chain, take out once, twice, 3 times. Okay, so single, 1 chain, and then the triple. 1 chain, coming back in with the single. So now I have 3 up top and 3 in the bottom. Now I'm going to turn my pattern to the front. I'm going to come from behind on that first single, and I'm going to pull my chain or my stitch, my thread to the back. So now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. I'm going to come on that double crochet on that V with a single, 2 chain, and into the next V, and 1, 2, 3, 4 chain, and coming in that back side double crochet, which I'm going to call that loop back there. Okay, make it easier. So single, 1 chain, take out once, twice, 3 times. So now we're just repeating. 1 chain, coming back in, and we have to do the 6 petals. So 3 on this side and 3 on the front one. 1 chain, coming back in, 1 chain, take out once, 2, 3 times, and again, once, 2, 3 times, 1 chain and single. So I got my 3 petals. Best to turn it to the front. And now we're going to work on that front loop, which is that sideways double crochet. Take out once, twice, 3 times. Like I said, if you want to do your normal for your triple, that's fine. 1 chain. I don't want it too thick. For that reason, I'm doing it this way. Makes the thread thinner. Cats are going at it, my goodness. I guess cats are in heat. It's like I said, there's never a dull moment in this place. It's the dogs, it's the construction, it's all kinds of things, my lord. Okay, so one chain, single. I'm going to turn it to the front, make things easier for us, right? And I'm going to pull my string on that single that we did and bring my thread to the back. Now I'm going to do the 4 chain. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Coming in that first double crochet on the V, and 1, 2. If you find that it's too tight for you, you can do a 3 chain here. I'm loosening it up so I can have the same chain as I did my V. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, just repeating the flower. So we're going to do this all the way around the same way. If you want to do, instead of the triples, if you want to do like the double crochets, that's fine too. Afterwards, once we've completed, when it's time to add the beads on, beads are going to go on there. Look how stunning that looks, right? But it will have to be one by one sewed in. It's a little bit of work, but it's absolutely stunning, people, with your plate mats on top of that. Imagine that, right? So I'm going to continue mine, and I'll meet you at the end when I've completed all my flowers, okay? Okay, everyone. So I pretty much finished doing all my flowers. Poor things, they look so messed up, but they will be nice and fixed once we are completed. So I'm just going to do my last 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to come where I have the single that I've done back here. And now we pretty much completed them. Okay, so now we're going to come inside of that 4 chain we did, single 2 chains. So that's my first double crochet, 2, 3. I'm going to come on top of that single, and I'm also going to do 2 double crochet inside of that 2 chain on top of that single, and 3 double crochet inside of my 4 chain. So 3 double crochet on top of that single, 2 inside of my 2 chain on top of the single, 3 double crochet. Coming again inside of that 4 chain and doing the 3 double crochet. My thread is rolled around my flowers. Oh my goodness. Coming on top of that single and 2 inside of my 2 chain on top of that single, and 3 on my 4 chain going up to the flower. Into the next 4 chain. So we have 4 chain going up and 4 chain coming down. Sorry for the banging, people. Construction will be on for a while. Into, so I've done my 3 double crochets on my 4 chain here on that single and 2 inside of my 2 chains. So I'm just repeating, we're going to do this all the way around the same way in that 3 chain with 3 double crochet, okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so pretty much finished doing all my double crochets. Now this row is going to be only singles, so I've closed in with slip stitch. I'm coming into the next one, single. I'm just doing singles all the way around just to firm all of the double crochets together, and then we're on to the next row, which we will be building the shells exactly like the small round placemat. So we're almost there. Okay, so 1 per stitch. There is no increase, it's just single crochet. Then I'll show you how we're going to add the beads onto the flower, which will have to be done one by one, and it's well worth all the work. I think the pattern speaks for itself. I'm grateful for God's intervening in my brain to create such thing. Thank you, Jesus. And I feel blessed by God and you guys. So single crochet. I'll meet you at the end. Okay everybody, so I've closed in with slip stitch. I'm going to go up 1, 2 and 3. We're going to start building those shells of 6 double crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is all in the same shell. Okay, we're going to skip 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come in my 4th. Let's see if it works out for me. And then 1, 2, 3 into the 4th again. So I've done a single. See if this works out. If it doesn't, then I'm going to probably do 1 chain if I have to. So doing those 6 double crochets again in the same stitch. 2, 4, 6. Skip 1, 2, 3 into the 4th. 1, 2. So I've done a single. 1, 2, 3 into the 4th. Now if I needed to do 8 instead of 6, if I feel that it's pulling, then I'll do 8 double crochets shells instead of 6. I'm going to see in a little bit if it starts pulling. 1, 2, 3 on my 4th single. I don't think it's pulling. I think it's fine. But if you have a very tight tension and you feel that you need to do 8 instead of 6, maybe it's better. Or let's say 7. If you want to do 7, we can try that and see how that works. Let's see. Maybe 7 is better. I don't want to pull onto the pattern, especially when it comes to that curve. So, gotta try different things, right? So I've done 7. 1, 2, 3 on my 4th single. 1, 2, 3 on my 4th. I'm gonna do those 7 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3 on my 4th single. I think it works better with 7. 1, 2, 3 on my 4th. Now, like I said, if your tension is tight, there's no limitations to this. So you can do how many double crochets you need to. You want to make sure that it's nice and flat and it's not pulling onto the pattern. 5, 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3 on my 4th single. One, 2, 3 on my 4th, starting my first double crochet and going to complete 7. So I'll meet you at the end of my row. Okay, everyone, pretty much finished. You can start anywhere really. We're going to do the slip stitch. Oops. I'm going to grab back loop only and slip stitch. I'm just going to leave this little string here. So we're doing just slip stitch all the way around, and then we're going into the beads and we're done. So slip stitch on each stitch using the back loop. So very simple, nothing to it, exactly how we have on the small placemat. If you want to grab all loops here, that's fine. If you want to go directly in, I think this looks much prettier. So delicate, elegant. Makes a beautiful Christmas decoration, especially with these colors also. Especially if you have, like, you know, the bling bling crystal candles or bling bling candles around it or on top of the runner. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. I'll cut my thread at the end, tuck in the loose ends, and then come back in with the beads. Now, another thing I want to mention to you guys is we don't have the can of starch here in the island. So I might possibility give it a little dab of hot gun glue just to have my flowers flat, but you can leave it as is. If you have starch, you just spray it and light iron it and you're good to go. We don't have that, so I might have to hot gun glue my flowers into the pattern so they can be nice and flat. I'll see how I'm going to work this out. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished, and what I'm doing now is I'm just preparing a bunch of beads because it makes it faster to put them on. So this is how usually I put my beads on, but if you have a faster technique, then fine. So I'm just putting like quite a few into the thread. Okay, so then we don't need that much thread because we're just doing one by one. So just enough to make a few knots in the back. Then you can just pull your beads and then keep cutting, right? Okay, so we'd have to come from the back. And we're doing putting the thing on the side. So I'm bringing the string to the back. And then, of course, maybe it's best if I turn it this way. and hold that string. We have to hold the string. Okay, so we're going to try that again. So I'm going to come through here and then pull my string through. I know it's a little bit of work, but it's well worth it in the end. I wish there was a way of just adding them as I'm doing the flower, but very impossible. So I'm going to bring the string all the way back here. And then you want to do that right across. So basically, coming across this way and grab the other string also. Now you want to make sure when you're pulling it, you're not pulling through any of the stitches. I'm just going to bring it back here. And then, of course, we're going to make a few knots to secure that. How pretty that looks, right? And I'm going to do one more knot. So I'm going to make 3 knots to it just to make sure that all is well. And then just leave like a tiny little bit. Don't cut so much into that knot. You can leave just a little bit out. So this way nothing comes apart. So it's a little bit of work, yes, but look how stunning that looks, right? And then I'd grab my thread here that I put a bunch of beads in. And then again, just pull the bead and just have enough string to go through one side and the other to make a few knots, right? And that's it. And then place it. Pull your bead through, well, not the bead, the thread to the back. Got to make sure I'm not pulling any of those threads from the crochet. So and then you would do the other side, of course. So you want to pull that I'm going to pull that thread all the way back here. Make sure that it goes all the way to the back. So this way we can tie it right in that hole and it's not as noticeable, right? Well, if it falls into that hole. No, this is way off. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm going to pull it through here, the stitches, so wherever it falls. It's a little bit of work, yes, but you know, the pattern speaks for itself. Well worth it. And then once you've done that, then you pretty much do it right across to the other side. It's probably best going right through the flower itself than the gray. So we can tie it right into that hole back there. I shouldn't have done that, into the grate, but that's very easy to do. So just right through the loops, basically. And it's going to tie right into that hole there of the flower, right behind the bead, and that's hidden, so you won't even see it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, this new design of mine, my newest creation now. I absolutely loved it. Thank you, Jesus, for implanting this in my brain, obviously. Without him, I'm nothing. That's just my personal thing. Everybody has their own beliefs, right? Okay, people, so this does it for this tutorial. I'll have the measurements at the end. And once I have blocked it and put all my beads in, I'll measure it. And I'll have a little video at the end. God bless you. Thank you so much. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. And I will see you into the next tutorial. I'll leave the link below for the placemat also. And of course, on the placemat, I'll leave the link to the table runner. Thank you so much, everybody. Much love, much hugs and kisses to every single one of you. God bless you. Bye-bye, everyone.